Su Bingtian ran 8.93 at the age of 32 after struggling to break the 10-second barrier during his younger years. However, when Coach Randy Huntington started coaching him, he implemented a few changes, such as increasing Su's power, elastic ability, max strength in the gym, reducing ground contact time, and optimizing recovery. Now, I found a great podcast in which Huntington guested on. He gave a full breakdown of Su's training week and also the type of workouts he has him do. For this video, I took audio clips from the podcast and we're going to listen to them and we're going to break them down together and I'm going to offer my advice on them. So let's get into it.
In Su's case, I do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday session. Monday, Friday are acceleration days, technical. He lifts on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday afternoons. He will lift 3 times a week. Power on a Tuesday, max strength on Saturday, and then upper body with usually one Olympic lift or one Kaiser power style lift on Thursday. And then,
So in this clip, he talks about Su's training week. Now, as you guys can see, he puts the lifting days between the days Su actually runs. The reason he does it is to optimize recovery. So now let's break down his training week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday are acceleration and technical work. Acceleration exercises will be block starts, push-up starts, leaning starts, and various other exercises. For technical work, that will be doing drills such as high knees, butt kicks, leg cycles, and many more. For his training week, I really want to put the emphasis on his lifting days. Most sprinters already know the drills about acceleration and technical work. However, they're pretty much lost in the gym, which is very critical if you really want to succeed in sprinting or getting faster. So Tuesdays are his power days. Now, what does that mean exactly? What does power exactly mean in the gym? Power is the ability to exert force in the shortest period of time. So the type of lift he would have to do would be about generating speed while lifting the weight, which translates to power. So exercises such as power cleans, barbell jump squats, hand cleans, or even regular squats, with the goal being to move the weight as fast as possible. Saturdays are his max strength days. Now, what does that mean? When you lift for max strength, you want to get as close as you can to your 1 rep max. So for example, when you perform back squats, you lift 80 to 95% of your 1 rep max, and the same goes for deadlifts or front squats. The goal is to get stronger, and the only way you can do this is by actually lifting heavy. Thursdays are his upper body days. Now, a lot of track athletes tend to skip over upper body because they tend to think it's useless. However, it's very important because it's a driver of everything else you do. For my athletes, I also have them do 1 upper body day a week because the body is a system. Your upper body helps drive your legs, your arms, shoulders, pectoral muscles are all important. For the upper body day, he also stated that he adds in 1 Olympic lift, which is all about generating power, which is very obvious because when you take sprinting is a power event. It's all about generating as much force as you can throughout the whole movement.
I'd quit before I'd ever do that. And that's where the water was so beneficial to us. And so Su's in the water every day, getting back to that. So he's in the water after every training session in the afternoon. If the pool is accessible, we'd go in the water after every session. We don't have saunas there. I probably would use sauna in the evening if I had one.
I really love this part of the podcast because I've always been a big proponent when it comes to getting into the pool for enhanced recovery or a workout. Water is great for enhanced recovery because of the buoyancy of the water. The buoyancy of the water supports your body weight, which releases the pressures on your muscles, your joints, and your tendons. You can even do the drills such as high knees and butt kicks in the pool. When I was in college, whenever we traveled for a track meet and we had to stay at a hotel, that same night I would go to the hotel pool and get in a nice little workout. I did this because it was a way for me to do a little workout without really exhausting myself too much, and it was also great for recovery. I would usually do drills such as high knees and butt kicks in the pool, and I saw a lot of great benefits the next day.
With Chun Yu is, if your feet touch the ground, the next place it goes is to water. You can substitute any training session in the water. I don't care because I know what the benefits are. And if you just think about it for a second, water is denser than air. And if you start moving and doing as high a speed sprinting as you can in water, you're training all your hip flexors at a level. I mean, you come out of the water doing that next day, your hip flexors are a little fried. You know, they're like, they aren't working as good as they did yesterday. Yeah, because you fatigued them. You work them better. There's almost no better way to do hip flexor work than to get in the water and shallow water to sprint, but you can do deep water. But it's nice to have a foot reflex back into the hip flexion. So your psoas, rectus, they all get worked really, really hard in the water. And because water is denser too, when you move, you find the best pattern.
In this audio clip, he spoke about how great pool workouts are, especially as a substitute for track workouts. Now, when I was in college, we used to do one pool workout a week. He also mentioned that doing sprints in water is great for improving sprint mechanics. So you guys should definitely make sure to include pool workouts in your routine if you can.
I do treat each thing as an individual entity. If we're doing speed, we're doing speed. If we're doing acceleration, we're doing acceleration. And when we're done, we're done. Then we go rest and we come back in the afternoon for their morning or afternoon, depending, for their next session.
Now this point is very interesting. What he's talking about is doing one specific form of exercise during a training session instead of including multiple forms of exercise. Personally, for me, this is not something I've done myself or really thought of until I heard this podcast. And honestly, I'm going to start incorporating it in my routine because it makes perfect sense when I think about it. Now let's take an example. Let's say on Monday you have 2 different training units for that day during your training session. So you have short sprints first and then you have plyometrics second. After the sprint session, let's really ask ourselves, how much benefit are we really going to get from the plyometrics session? Your legs will already be burnt out from the sprint session, so how much benefit are you really getting from doing the plyometrics session immediately following the sprint session? So having a day for plyometrics in this scenario or doing the plyometrics workout a few hours later will allow you to give more effort and perform this session much better, giving you better results. So focusing on one specific type of exercise during a workout rather than multiple really allows you to attack that workout to the best of your abilities, which is very important.
Potential for injury is reduced, which is the first reason for going in the weight room anyways. I mean, if you're going in the weight room only to think performance, you've missed out on the real key, and the key is reduce the potential for injury. And then we'll look at the performance side after that. So at this time,
in all honesty, this is one of my favorite things that's hitting the whole podcast. If you find a training program out there or you find a coach out there that does not have weightlifting in their training program, honestly, get rid of that coach, get rid of that training program because it is not good. The weight room is your best friend when it comes to injury prevention. Why is this? That's because the weight room increases the strength of your muscles, your tendons, your ligaments, your bone structure. Everything becomes stronger, and stronger muscles are less prone to injury. Another thing that lifting really works on is muscle imbalances. Now, muscle imbalances cause a lot of injuries out there. So if you go to the weight room and you work on those muscle imbalances, you get them out the way and you reduce your likelihood of injury as well. Now that's it for this video, guys. Hope you guys learned something. If you did, make sure you subscribe, and peace, y'all. Take it easy.